Go.
Welcome to episode 60 of the SNLF podcast, sponsored by New Style Apparel, serving up the sharpest gear in football. If you want to look the part on the touchline and on the terrace, you know the score. Go and have a check them out on social media. As always, a massive thanks to support for last week's episode. If you haven't listened yet, make sure you go back and give it a run. It's well worth the time. We did a little interview with Trev. Let's get on with this week's show, though, because it's a busy one. Before we introduce our main guest, who you can probably see on the screen, we're joined by two familiar faces. First up, we've got the stat man, Chris. As we've always got the stats ready, Chris.
All right, mate. Yeah, you know it. Ready to rock.
Yeah. And we've got Mike McCaffrey here as well, the Sussex beer reviewer, I'm going to call him from now on, after his live that I saw him on last night. Look, now let's get into it. You can all see it on there. We've got a sorry. You all right, Mike?
I'm all right, mate.
Yeah.
It was more. I saw the bank statement this morning. That was more of it, mate. So, yeah. Cheers. I forgot about
that. Three Bridges would have been happy anyway. Look, let's get into it. Joining us tonight, we've got the chairman of Arundel Football Club, Dan Harvey. How you doing, Dan?
Very well, guys. Happy New Year and that.
You too, mate. Before we get into the football, we've got to start. You're running 100 miles in January to raise money for an AED defibrillator at Mill Road.
Absolutely.
Great work, mate. Where did the idea come from?
Well, unfortunately, obviously, with the takeover of the club and bits, we had an old one that was kind of kicking about, needed replacing, looked into it. It was nearly around £1,000, to be fair, to fix something, which I'm not even sure how long the club had it. So, realistically, what never sat right for me is having one of these units, which can obviously be life-saving, but unfortunately, having it locked away when there's other events going on at the club, obviously it wasn't fit for purpose. So this year, obviously, the way that we've been, kind of any kind of money we've been getting in, we've been spending it around the club, as you can probably see, with the facilities and bits like that. Yeah. So what I thought I'd do, and I've done it before, to be fair, a couple of years back when I actually had a bit more time on my hands. So I've done it for prostate cancer before, which worked really well, raised a lot of money, couple of grand. So I set up, the way that we've done it is we want to buy one that can actually be locked away outside, with a code that you can phone up to get the code lit, obviously, and we've got to be a little bit careful as well, because where the car park is in that at Arundel, you can't really, there's no disabled access to get it if even anyone needed to. There's no proper pedestrian pathways and stuff like that. So we've kind of, bear in mind that we do a lot ourselves. We've kind of put a figure together that we'll be happy with, and we can get it done for the wider community. So yeah, it was completely kind of my idea. Probably put a bit too much on myself to do it, but I'm getting through it, so it's all good, and we're raising money.
Nah, it's great, mate. How's the run going?
Right. Yeah. So I think yesterday was probably the only day that I probably sat and just ate loads of rubbish and drunk about 3-4 cans of lager in a midweek, which is a lot for me, to be fair. But I've ran every night. I'm up to 56 miles after tonight. So it's going well. Yeah, in like 13 odd days. So yeah, I'm quite pleased.
Yeah, no, good. I'm going to move away from that. We will go back into it in a minute. Do you know how much you've raised so far?
No worries, yeah.
Do you know how much you've raised so far?
Yeah, we've raised, I think it's just over £1,100, £1,140, I think it is, as of the season.
What do you need, Dan? How much do you need?
It's basically just because I've got a couple of friends that work in construction with me that are like the electricians and bits like that. So we're roughly looking at about 2,100. That'll get us the pathway we need, everything wired in. So that will do it. If I'm really honest with you, like that is breaking bones to get it done for that. But look, we need it. It has to be done.
Yeah. Now look, what we'll do when it comes out tomorrow, we'll give it a share. We'll share the link. So
yeah, absolutely.
If you listen to this on a Thursday, go to our socials, get the link, and donate.
I really appreciate any support. It's great.
Yeah. Now look. So you've spoken about it in the past. Does this about Arundel being more than just a football club? Does the fundraiser sum up what you want the club to stand for in terms of community and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because the thing is, when people think about Arundel Football Club, realistically, it's not just a football club. It is to the wider community. Like, we've got people, for instance, just a couple of examples. We've got like walking football. It seems to me the guys are normally above 60, 65, and that they come in on a Monday afternoon. Jason Hughes runs it, does really well. They're down there. Yeah, he's a lovely bloke, really good.
Yeah, he's a good guy, Emerson, like.
Yeah, really, really good. So he does that on a Monday. Obviously, then they stop and have tea and coffee, a bit of a chit chat, socialise after that. We've also got the petanque, which is, to me, it's bowls, but it's a French game, I believe. I've not played it myself, but so they're in the back far corner behind the main stand, and they're there very, very regularly. You know, probably 3-4 times training. They got games on Sundays. But then obviously now we're trying to push it a lot more with the clubhouse itself to try to rent it out to people for, I don't know, whether it's weddings, birthday parties. We've had a couple of wakes, unfortunately, down there and that. So it's there for the hire. So we've got that part. And obviously now we've got an under 15s team, JPL team that played down there, and under 18s, and obviously the 23s when we can get it on. And then the first team. So there's a lot of teams down there, and there's a lot of people around there. So it is for the wider community. And also with what we do is sometimes people actually use the car park itself. So the unit itself can always be accessible. And if I can kind of put it in an area that people can actually see it from the car park, you know what it must be like, God forbid, if there's panic stations kick in, then all of a sudden you see green, for instance, you know what unit you're looking for, you can get to it, you know.
Yeah. No, that's great, mate. That's great. Look, we're going to move on and talk about Arundel now. You took over from Bob Marchant after 25 years in the role. You stepped up from youth team chairman to chairman.
Yeah.
When did that start to feel like a realistic step for you to make from the youth chairman to the chairman of?
Bear in mind, my wife begged me not to, and I sat there.
She's lovely.
Yeah. No, thanks, Mike. And realistically, it was something I put so much into the youth. To be fair, that I love the team I've got. I still currently running.
Is it the 15th you've still got, Dan?
No, so we've always played ours up. So we had an under.
They're hot, aren't they? Those lads are hot, aren't they?
Yeah, they're good boys, you know. And even tonight, I was with them just before this, kind of as you do, just before something like this. At the training a minute ago, they're so. Their attitudes are so good, you know, and they are lovely, lovely boys, all of them. Then they'll be your best mates later on, you know. If they stay together, great, you know. They're not obviously playing in the county side this year because I was a bit dubious about it, to be honest, because with their age, bear in mind, 10 of them are still at school. I didn't really want them I didn't know what the physical battle would be. But now we're joining the Arundel District League, the Arundel Tri-League. They've been all right and they've really held their own, you know, and they're doing well. I think they're second at the minute, so which I'm pleased about. So it's going well. So obviously with the chairman side of things, Bob got to the point where I think he needed a rest more than anything is probably the nicest way to say it, and I'm sure he'll agree, you know. Massive feat to step into, but at the same time, like, me and Bob are really close, you know, we text quite a lot. On one of these, and even the construction company that I've built up, I've always listened to the elderly people, you know, them ones in front of you that have been there, done it, because you'll always learn off of people, you know, and that not to be individual to anyone at the club, anyone that gives advice, you learn from it, you know. And then yes, I can do things my own way, but at the same time, they're there for the advice. And so I think we've become real when I was more worried when I sat there, kept pondering who's going to be interested, who's going to take our youth through and blah blah blah. And in the end, my wife did kind of say, you're only going to ever be happy if it was you. And I said, well, to be fair, is that okay, is that a green light kind of thing? And I took it as a green light, and then I said there's no going back now. So unfortunately, no, sorry, unfortunately is the wrong word. Fortunately, we are where we are now, and I'm loving it. So yeah.
No, that sounded like a green light to me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Green light. Look, let's talk about Arundel. What's the biggest thing holding Arundel back from progressing right now?
Not apart from a pitch that floods. But yeah, look, do you know what, right? I said to myself when I first started, I'm one of these that can't deal with like clutter. Like, if there's things to be done, like, let's get on with it. Let's do it the right way. And I kind of give myself I won't give it away completely, like a 3-4 kind of year plan that I said at the minute. This first year was obviously sustainability is massive for us. You know, like, I didn't want to come in and gamble with what we're doing. Like, we need revenue. We need to be able to run properly. We've still got bills to pay, regardless of players' wages and stuff like this, blah, blah, blah. We've still got bills to pay. And also there was still a lot that needed to be sorted out. Like, realistically, I won't put a figure on it, but you think we've built a new T-bar kitchen, and then we've had all the changing rooms and that done, which probably haven't been done for, I'd like to guess, 15 odd years. We've had new kitchens put in the clubhouse. We've had new offices and all that. But so it's kind of, a lot of it's seen, but a lot of it's also hidden, So I said, that's the first year. And then come the second year, I've got a plan on that. So, yeah, and we just keep progressing that way.
Yeah. No, look, for a club of your size as well, I think I spoke to you before, you're sleeping giants, but you're operating without a playing budget. How important is it to have that clear pathway from the 18s to the 23s and into the first team?
So if I'm honest with you, the way that we kind of done it, like, we all had a player chat. We all got everyone together, the coaches, obviously Craig at the time, Joss, all of the under 23s managers. And I told everyone that God's honest truth. I was like, look, this is where we are. Like, this is what I need to do in the first year. I said, trust me, and I promise you I'll make something of it. But if you don't feel like you want to be part of it, I understand that as well. I've got to respect players, because they are there for free at the end of the day. So the main thing for me is I spoke to them and I was honest, and I said, like, look, this is where we're trying to get to. And if I was to back myself, I'd back myself 100%. I'll always chuck everything in and more, like, if I really had to, like, I'd need an hour's sleep a night if I really need to, and I will make something of it, and I will drive it as far as we can. So once I got the players on board with that, I've got to be honest, there's been no sniff of anything, like, and even if Josh come to me now or Jimbo come to me now and said, oh, he's asking for X, blah, 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 there wouldn't be it. And regardless of what we've got, say, in the Arundel account, for instance, that wasn't the protocol. That's not what we're doing. We're not into that side of things. Like, and do you know what? All of them players that are there at the minute, they give everything. Like, sweat, blood, and tears. They give everything every single week, and that, all at the training sessions and that. And if I'm honest with you, I personally wouldn't want to give one without the other. It's not fair to me, and I don't think it'd be fair on them. So that's personally where we're at with the budget. So at the minute, it's not a problem. Obviously, as you can see, they're doing well. They're a close unit. Everyone seems to be really getting on. Honestly, I genuinely mean it. There's no rifts or anything like that. Everyone is seems to be, it's where I wanted to get to. So it's great.
Like, obviously, I've got sort of an inside scoop in terms of my brother being there, but Mike was actually the one that spearheaded my brother coming to Arundel.
Well,
so look, I have seen the growth over the club over the last few years, and I think it's great. And he went from a club where he's sitting on a bench getting paid 50 quid to sit on a bench to now at Arundel. He lost that 50 quid just to go and play some football, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think I lost it because I sponsored him as well. But what a great lad.
Yeah, no, you did. That's high praise. That's high praise more than anything, isn't it?
Exactly. To be fair, he like your brother, for instance, he's a great lad, and then they all are. To be fair, all of them boys are. So they've got good attitude, and sure.
Yeah, Mike.
Danny, how you doing, pal?
I'm good, Mike. Yeah.
Quite unique, really, because I also have that insight because I did the 23s.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And I absolutely
and done well, unbeaten, I think, weren't you?
Yeah, we did all right, mate. We did all right.
Yeah, good results. Yeah, well done.
But I want to talk about the club because you must have had a massive change with a figure. Bob was synonymous with Arundel FC.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I tell you what, one of the nicest guys out there. You can sit there, have a beer, talk football with him.
Yeah,
great head, and he bled Arundel Football Club.
Absolutely.
It must have been a really tough decision. 25 years at the club's incredible.
Yeah.
But you've also got other great people at that club.
Yeah.
You got Butsy, a guy that's been a massive supporter of what we do. He loves Arundel as well. Always good. I spoke to him today. Always pick up the phone to him. Always there for a bit of advice. Kathy's still there doing her bit as a secretary. Breeden's Burgers, is he still popular about? Is he?
Yeah, when he's not travelling, he likes holiday, old Tim. But yeah, to be fair, even the group themselves, that the kind of jump in the tea bar, the kitchen, and that, it's more of a social, to be fair. And I'm so obviously appreciative of what they do. But it's good. I actually feel a bit jealous sometimes that I'm not actually in there with them having a couple of beers and cooking burgers. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
It is good. You know, you people like Lammy there and everything like that.
Yeah, yeah, and to be fair, like these guys have helped me as well. Like without them, I wouldn't be, well, the club, I suppose, wouldn't be as doing well as it is. You know, like I needed a bit of guidance. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I've kind of run my own businesses and all that stuff. I've run my own teams and all that stuff, but you have to listen to people's advice. You can't go in like a steam train thinking you know it all, because unfortunately, one, you put people's noses out of joint, and another, you will make mistakes, you know. And there's ways, I suppose there's always ways, the right way to do stuff, but then also you can kind of sway a little bit. So it's been good, you know. Butch is on the phone to me quite a lot, quite more than probably I need sometimes, but he's great, you know. He's a happy character, lovely. Kathy obviously doesn't just do the secretary role. She's probably, if I'm honest with you, nearly club manager with me as well. So it's great, you know.
Yeah,
They're all about now.
I tell you, she was good like that.
Yeah.
What about Charlotte? She's still doing the stuff behind the scenes?
Yeah. Charlotte's doing
Charlotte
well. Yeah, she still does our stuff and that for the website and all that stuff, so that's all good. Like, do you know what, honestly, and I have to apologise if I miss anyone out, but the actual volunteers themselves, there's loads of them, and they're all great characters. And it's nice because I can try even at match days now, because just to have that chat with people, you know, just to see, and I listen to anyone's advice, and they've always got ideas, and most of the time, if it can be done, it will be done, you know. Like, it's kind of as big as we want to make it.
Yeah, well, that's the niceties over now, Danny.
Yes.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes. All right. How are you going to sort this pitch out that gets, you know, look, if a dog has a piss on that pitch, it's called off, mate.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I know behind the scenes, what a lot of people don't know is the grounds and that are owned by the Duke. Is that correct?
Yeah, they are indeed. Yeah.
And it is the most picturesque ground around. It's beautiful place. But it's built on wetlands.
It is, yeah.
And what I always find with Arundel, like you had a massive late run last season, you know, unlucky in the playoffs. But all those games at the end that you had to put together, you know, playing one, twice a week, non-stop.
Yeah.
It takes a lot out of the boys when they're, as you say, they're playing for the love of the club, you know.
And to be fair, Mike, the volunteers, because you can't just finish a game and that's it. Oh, but then you goes into rolling the pitch, spiking the pitch, you know, lining the pitch. So there's a lot that goes into it. I understand that.
So what's the plan, Dan? Is the Duke or the Duke's son, because I know he goes to some of the committee meetings. Yeah. Is there a chance long term of a 3G in there?
Yeah, so I suppose if I'm honest with you, you have to take it step by step. So I think last year, before the season begun, even to sort our floodlights out, probably cost the club, for instance, maybe nearly 2K, believe it or not, just to change.
I know, it was ridiculous.
So, like, I don't like throwing money at something that's not going to last. So our first point of call, obviously, is to sort the floodlights out, which is going through now, thankfully. We've sorted everything we need to do our end and that, so we will be sorting the floodlights out. So that's the first point of call. But realistically, the main reason for what I do is to make sure that we can turn our club into a football community. And that, unfortunately, that means children playing on it, you know, youngsters, whether they're under 18s or under 16s, they're playing on it, you know, football community days, you know, Josh can put on some sessions and bits like that, but it needs the pitch. And unfortunately, if we haven't got the pitch, we're never going to do it, you know. And obviously, first team football, unfortunately, always has to come first.
Of course.
For revenue more than anything, you know. That's the main reason. So yeah, there is plans, you know, and we're just doing it the right way. I think with the FA, for instance, giving us a grant towards the floodlights, which hasn't been fully confirmed, by the way. After that, the next thing will be the pitch, because it's just causing us problems all the time.
I think for the long-term future and for the success of the club, something has to happen in that direction.
Oh, totally,
And,
Mike. I get it, you know. And don't get me wrong, there is a short-term fix that hopefully it's going to work. I've kind of found out recently that there were like shingle channels and bits like that put through the pitch coming over grass and stuff like that. You might know more about it than I do, but there's 2 pumping sets that can actually come and pump the pitch. So I've just got to now try to find obviously the revenue to actually pay for these pumps. That ideally what would happen is when it rains heavy, there's obviously a pit which draws water away from the pitch and back into the river. But unfortunately, it's a bit of a gamble to see if it does work or makes a difference, you know. So that's our short-term fix, but realistically, we're going to do it properly and we're going to go for a pitch when we can. It's just unfortunately everything can't be done in a year, you know. You kind of got to take your time.
Of course, mate, and Danny, you're doing a fantastic job. You really are. Right, let's get into the real question. Okay, Craig Stewart.
We're going to talk about burgers, Mike.
Or Freedom's Burgers and so on. Craig Stewart, great friend of mine, great guy. Brought me to the club. I knew him a lot before. Brought me into a wonderful club of wonderful people.
Yeah,
he left after putting his heart and soul in it. But between you guys, you know,
absolutely,
you've moved on, and I know it was very amicable, very professional. Which was
and it was,
But then you bring in the guy who had an incredible CV, this Dixon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he ended up turning into a meme. He was there for one game. You know. Dan, what went wrong?
So I suppose from my point of view, bear in mind everything when we took over, everything was set. So me, Craig, his wife Laura, my wife, we sat.
Laura's amazing, by the way.
Yeah, they're lovely. They genuinely are. By the way, they are like they're friends of mine. I love them all. Like Ollie and that, their son, and that played for me, and that he's a great kid. Future manager, definitely. I'll guarantee you that, boy. But realistically, when we sat down at the awards evening over at Uckfield, I kind of said, "Look, Craig, you are the right man for the job." I said, guaranteed. I said, "I like what you want to do with the youth if you back what I want to do," which he agreed. It's all about that pathway to football and all that stuff. So kind of had a bit of a plan, like kind of a loose plan over a beer and all that stuff. So Craig was the man for the job, you know. So obviously carrying on as we did, I never thought that I'd have to change the kind of manager. So carrying on, Craig said to me, actually, funny enough, while I was cutting my grass, trying to turn it into as well as our pitch, you know, like all the lines and stripes and that stuff, received a message, just kind of said, sorry, but I need to resign. Nothing else. And Craig would tell you the same thing, Mark, I'm sure he said.
Yeah, I've spoken to Craig.
Yeah, so obviously I was at a situation, bear in mind it was a Sunday. Obviously we need to change management, and you think, oh, sometimes like I do with work things, I'll wait till Monday, I'll sort that out. But it's a big thing, you know, it is a massive thing for us. Some clients of mine can wait till I've got the time to kind of email them back, not to be rude or anything, but at the same time, like we needed to know where we were going. So speaking to Josh, obviously everything was a bit hot as such, you know, like we had to sort it out quite quick, blah blah blah. So look, we looked at options, not to name too many people, you've probably heard about them, you know, like we spoke, and we knew we had options, but at the same time it got to the point where these certain people, I suppose, didn't want to kind of overcommit. I met Dixon, a lovely guy, by the way, absolutely top
Oh,
fella.
I've heard it was just you know, because his CV is shit hot.
He's unbelievable, honestly. And if I'm honest with you, like, it was, I hate to say it, like, it was probably too good in a way, you know, like something that he could probably demand off of players that are playing at like massive, what I say, man, like higher levels and stuff like this, and like had budgets, they were paid X and all that stuff, then maybe that would have worked, you know. But I even agreed, like when we sat with Josh and Paul, like our kind of football director, they were kind of the only people involved in it. And I said, look, this is where we're at. I said, this is a CV, top bloke, you know, like lovely, genuinely, like he's a really, really nice person. Do we go with it? So we all agreed, yeah, that's what we do. And yeah, like you say, unfortunately, one training session led to no quarrels as such or anything like that. It just, and I genuinely mean it, Mike, it was just, it wasn't right. And it just didn't sit right. And unfortunately, like I've mentioned to Gareth as well, like the way we are now and the way that we're set up with obviously Josh running the show and with Jimbo as well, like it's ended up really good. And and even I was sure Dixon would, and like we've spoken, I felt gutted, you know, to do that. But then what's the point in delaying something? You know, like Dixon, I wish him well, and he'll be in higher levels. He genuinely will. Like he's a brilliant coach, and I'm sure he's a brilliant manager. But Josh and Jimbo, and I'm sure they'll both, if they're watching this now, will laugh because them two themselves were not actually an option. So
I mean,
bear in mind that they kind of, well, definitely for Josh, for instance, he had the dressing room anyway. He had all the players' respect and all that stuff.
Josh,
that would be
Dan is incredible. I played in the rep side with him as you know, in my younger days, an incredible footballer, right?
Yeah,
but an even better coaching mind. I mean, Josh Parsons will go on to bigger things in the future. You know, I know he's been doing his A license. He's doing also.
Yeah. He's doing really well.
He's an incredible guy that has so much respect from those players that I thought it was a natural transition when Craig left. You know, that's why I thought it was a bit odd with the thing, but I understand why now. I like the fact that
and if I'm honest with you, like before even the Dixon thing come on, like I spoke to Josh and he said to me, "You're mad." He said, "You've got so much on, blah, blah, blah." I was like, "Josh, I can't not do it." You know, like he gets the pathway that we're trying to do. And like we have mixed training sessions from our kind of under 15s, under 18s. They're playing with the under 23s, the first team. We've had a lot of our boys from under 18s. Bear in mind, there are only like just turned 16. They've had a couple of sessions with the first team and the under 23s quite a lot on that. And that's what Josh is about, you know, like, and Jimbo as well, you know, like
Jim's a great guy.
And absolutely,
he's you know, I've not worked with Jimbo, but I know him. I
speak to him quite a lot. He has got a really, like, his footballing brain and his understanding of tactics and everything else.
Do you know what, Gareth? If I showed you the setup before a game, it's unbelievable. I don't even think Arsenal's kind of technical coach even does it, you know, and he's got it now, to be fair, and they all have. And the thing is, with them, when they put their sessions on, they're very, very professional. And I tried to say to our youngsters and all that stuff, you need to listen to this because this doesn't come. Yes, it's free for you guys, however you want to look at it, but don't take advantage of this. You know, like you will really, really learn from it. And what we can't keep having, unfortunately, the main reason I do what I do is we can't keep having Arundel players that are not getting a sighting. You know, like they're good enough. And unfortunately, what happens is, and because you will always have other teams, as you know, if they sniff blood and all this stuff, they'll come in and try to get them. But at the same time, if they love their club and they're a joint team and they get on well, then in the future it's going to be brilliant. You know, like we've got an under 15s trailing our under 18s, and our under 18s are very, very young now. So realistically, the pathway is there, and hopefully it continues.
And just finally, you still got Millsy there, Cole? Is he still there?
Yeah. I love him. He was talking to me about Rolex watches the other day. He said, I've got this. I swear he's a crook, so I have to watch my watch around him, to be fair.
I'll tell you what, right? I would love to have done a podcast just with him because the amount of stories he would just tell me during a game. I'm trying to focus on the game. And he'll come out about a random story that happened in the 70s, you know.
I think that's why he turns up at 12 o'clock just to speak to people, to be fair. He's waiting at the gate. Yeah.
Well, Dan, that's enough from me. I've got absolute all love for Arundel and all the players. Look forward to coming down there this season. And
hopefully we do see you a bit more, because that was the other reason, Mike. I was thinking you were going to come down a bit more, because I know you put a few quid behind the bar and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the burgers are getting better and better, Mike, as well. So, we've got a new little solution coming, which should be a surprise, but hopefully.
I'll be down definitely in February, but all you got to do, mate, is get the effing games on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. As well as another 45 miles to run or 44 miles to run, but we'll get them on.
Love it, Danny. Like I said, you're doing a great job, great club. I urge people that haven't been to see Arundel, go down there. It's a really good day. It's a family atmosphere. It's
fun, Mike, honestly. To be fair, it's Gareth would say as well, like, there's a breath of fresh air around the place now, and yeah, everyone enjoys it. You know, it's all for the laughs. Let's face it. Like, we only do it because we enjoy it. You know, like, I don't get bogged down by the stress of it. You just have to look the other side and get on with something else. You know, and that's it. Yeah.
Well, when
I
I'm back
will
from
have
my
one thing though,
travels,
just for everyone, in case I have missed it. I hope you don't mind. Like, without the volunteers, it would be 20 times harder, you know. And we welcome people, you know, if they want to just come down for the social, put the kettle on, whatever, you know. Like, it does make a lot of difference. And yeah, we all do it for the love of it. Let's face it.
yeah, love Arundel. I'm going to pass you over, but anything you need from us, Dan, you got our digits, mate. You know that.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks very
We've
much.
got a board up on the clubhouse.
Yeah.
The first
And
ever board that went up.
And it's level as well. I made sure of it. Not everything's level I do, but it works, eh?
Chris?
Hi, Dan. Nice to
meet you.
Hi, Chris.
I'll be blunt. While the other two know Arundel, I've never been. I've driven through Arundel, but never actually stopped. So I will get over at some point. I mean, we've spoken a bit about the facilities and that. What is the one thing you would love to have or improve at Mill Road beside the pitch? We know the pitch.
Do you know what? If I'm honest with you, I think now we're kind of known to the wider community and stuff. Revenue's a factor, yeah, don't get me wrong, but also the support means a lot. You know, the more people that we can get in and around the place, the better. And it has definitely improved, you know. Like, we've got a lot of like youth players and that they've brought the parents down and say like under 16s come in for free and stuff like that. So just to get our name around a bit more, you know, because it like Mike said earlier, or Gareth said, like, it is a sleeping giant, you know, and I still get goosebumps when I walk through the gate. You know, it is an amazing place. It's such a picturesque kind of ground. Yeah, it's just to get our name about a bit more, because I like to know that now that people feel welcome. You know, I'm not saying that they didn't last time, but like, it is about the children, it is about the community, and it is about our pathway to football. So the more youngsters that we can get around the place, it's just a breath of fresh air, really.
No, definitely. You can see that the progress that's being made there, even from this distance. So, and I guess finally, because I'm conscious of your time as much as anything else, if you had one message for anyone involved with Arundel, be it the players, be it the volunteers, the parents of the youth kids, the youth team players, sorry, what would be your message as the club carries on going forwards?
If I'm honest with you, trust the process. There's nothing more else than I can say to that. Like, I'm such a confident person with anything I'm kind of driving forward, and I can only do my best, you know, and I will throw everything at it the best way I know how to do it, you know, and that is all I've ever known, really. But yeah, trust the process. I promise, like, youth players and all that stuff, like, they will make their appearances, you know, like, our pathway to football has to continue. Whether or not it's about revenue and all that stuff, like, it will get better and better. But unfortunately, there's always something which is in place to start with, and we've got to do it the right way. So yeah, trust the process.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. And I'd just say, like, just from an outsider's point of view, again, if you haven't been to Arundel, it is a beautiful place. Like I said, I've never been, but a lot of my mates took loads of pictures when they went with Eastbourne Town many years ago, and it just looks stunning. But also, from a footballing point of view, that league is shaping up something spicy. So there's definitely sporting interest.
It's really good, yeah. And I know I'm proud of him. You know, like, and that's one thing, just very quickly, like, we never spoke about league positions and stuff like that. Like, from my point of view, it was all about sustainability, right? Let's take this on. Let's do what we're doing. And I think the lads have just got that bit between them teeth that they just want to keep pushing and working hard. And yeah, and like, there's no pressure from my point of view. Just play some good football, you know, and just like do everything the right way. And they have, you know, and good on them all.
But Butties has said he doesn't call you that often. He promises.
No, Butsy.
Yeah, Butsy said that. Yeah.
Don't think the phone leaves his house. At least leaves his hand, honestly. And recently, bless him, he's had a leak in his house, and oh my God, this is the biggest emergency going. Like, can you call me? Can you call me? Can you call me? So yeah. But you know what? Genuinely, like, he has got a heart of gold, Butsy, and like, he is first point of call, and nothing gets missed. You know, like, he loves everyone. He's got no hatred, that fella, at all. He's a good boy.
No.
Yeah.
Look, Dan, thanks so much for that.
No worries.
Really appreciate it. I think I spoke to you when you took over in at the end of last season, beginning of this season, and said, I'm going to get you on. It's taken me the best part of 6 months, but we have managed it. No, look, good luck with
it. Well worth it. I appreciate it, lads. Thanks.
Yeah.
Look forward to coming down and seeing you, mate.
Yeah. First pints on me, Mike.
There you go.
I'll hold you to that, mate. We did have a fair few of that Christmas do, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And you ate all my meat and all. Remember that?
Yeah, I was like that.
That sounded quite wrong, actually, to be fair.
Family show, Dan. Family show.
Yeah, they'll clip that bit. They will.
I'm going to clip that. I'll stick it out on TikTok and Instagram later. Look, Dan, I really appreciate it. Good luck with the rest.
Thanks, guys.
40 odd.
Thanks
40
for all
odd
you
miles
do as well. I appreciate it. Like, it means a lot, you know. I really appreciate it.
No. Thank you very much. Look, good luck. I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks very much.
Nice to meet you, Dan.
Cheers.
Cheers, Dan.
Cheers.
What a great guy. Love Dan.
What a great guy, yeah.
It's tough, isn't it? Because, he's gone from being the youth chairman and running a team, and I'll tell you what, the team his boys had, they were shit hot. And I know that because I was running under 14s as well at the same time. But he stood up when the club needed him. Because I'll tell you one thing, they were in a way where when Bob left, there was a lot of uncertainty around the club. There really was, you know. They needed someone to step up and for the current committee to stick together in there. So they did that. And look, they're performing on the pitch when it's on, obviously. And long may it continue.
Yeah. Look, we'll shout out his Just Giving page on the socials. If you can help and you can donate anything, please do. I was going to try and get Pagam on as well, who are also doing a massive running challenge. I will shout that one out as well separately. Check out on our socials, only if you can. Right, guys, let's get on with it, shall we? National League South. We'll start there, and if I can load up the bollocks.
Don't load up the bollocks.
I don't want to load up the bollocks. Anyway, National League South. I'll have to go off the phone. I had it loaded up on my laptop. On Saturday, there was just a one game. It was Salisbury and Worthing. And Worthing went down and lost 5-4. I know. And in the Sussex Senior Cup on Tuesday, Three Bridges won, Horsham won, and Three Bridges won 4-1 on penalties. How were the penalties, Mike?
Well, last night.
Yeah.
Bridges won, didn't they?
Yeah. Weren't you at Bridges last night, were you?
Huh?
Did you watch the penalties last night?
I had to get the train back, mate.
Oh. Anyway.
Where were you last night?
I went out for a Ruby, didn't I?
Oh, so you didn't see any football in the end?
No.
All right, then. Okay. Well, that's the case closed, isn't it?
Yeah. Broadbridge Chief versus Worthing was postponed, and Horsham YM versus Eastbourne Borough was also postponed. I'm guessing for waterlogged pitches. This weekend, Hornchurch host Eastbourne Borough, and Worthing host Horsham. What a game that's going to be. Right. Let's talk about it. Look at the bottom of the table. How tight is that now? I think I relegated Eastbourne Borough a few weeks ago. And now
you love relegating teams, don't you?
Yeah. And now there's 6 points between Bath City in 19th and Chippenham in 24th at the bottom of the league.
I think obviously the last game Borough played was the game against Horsham, and they were thoroughly outclassed. And they looked blunt. It was good to see Pemi Aderojo actually came on for Peterborough on the weekend. So he's obviously got something about him. I think the fact for Borough that started to would worry me if I was a Borough fan, is just the fact that Chippenham are now picking up points as well. They're unbeaten in 4. Other teams around, like Slough Town, had won 3 on the bounce before they lost to Chip, I think. So if the teams are picking up points, they've really got to start, getting it together a bit. And Hornchurch away is not going to be an easy game.
No, if it's on.
Touche.
Because they had their trophy game postponed on Tuesday, trophy game postponed on Saturday. Yeah, so we'll see. It may not be on.
I hope for Borough fans' sake that they don't have the same situation that, say, Whitehawk had at Dulwich, where it got called off late doors.
Yeah. Mike, let's talk about Worthing. They've gone from being a point behind with a game in hand to a point ahead with no games in hand.
But they're still top.
And Western actually have a game in hand.
Yeah, Western do have one game in hand. Look, I think Hinch spoke about defensive frailties, that they, conceding 5 goals in there. And they're normally a pretty ship-shop team, they are. It's a blip, but let's take nothing away from the run that they were on before to put them in that position. Long old place to go, all the way down there.
Yeah.
Tough old journey. Credit to Salisbury, though. I saw a few of the comments from the fans. Some weren't happy about it. I get that, because especially where Salisbury, Worthing would have fancied to take something out of that.
Yeah.
And they didn't. But they've put themselves in this position now anyway. Okay. And it makes it a bit more interesting. There's going to be a few more twists and turns, but I'm fully sticking my cards, my money down on the table and saying Worthing are going up this year.
Yeah. No, look, I'm not taking it away from them. I just think if it's a small blip, they've got to bounce back on Saturday, because that's
awesome, isn't it?
Horsham Saturday.
Well, I spoke with Dom. I spoke with Dom last night, the Horsham manager. And obviously, we'll talk about the Three Bridges game later. Yeah, in there, but he's got a massive injury crisis. I mean, we're talking 8, 9 out at the moment. They're on their bare bones, so that's going to be tough. I know it's a derby. Both managers know each other well. Both sets of fans know each other well. It's going to be a great game. But if there was a time to play Horsham, it would be now, and that was echoed with their one of their coaches, Chappers, who we know. He was in a dugout band last night, so he was behind the camera. Funny enough, he was always good for a bit of banter. But yeah, I feel for Dom at the moment with his injury situation, and then obviously having to play last night as well. So yeah, but going to be a cracking game. But I'm going to miss that one, unfortunately. Yeah,
we'll get to that in a minute. Right, let's move on to the issue.
Yeah, man, all right.
You're all right, Chris. You
those eyes then, mate. You look like you've just been to a rave in 1994.
No, I mean, my hair is very 90s, but no raving for me. Not my scene.
Right, Isthmian Prem.
Go
on. Results from Saturday the 10th. I'm doing it on here because I can't mess around with my laptop. Burgess Hill lost 2-1 at home to Billericay. Lewis went to Canvey Island and won 1-0. Ramsgate beat Chai 3-1 at home.
Yeah.
Upcoming fixtures this Saturday: Chichester host Wingate and Finchley. Folkestone and Victor host Burgess Hill. That's a tough game. Lewis head to Ramsgate and Whitehawk head to St Albans. Then on Tuesday night we've got Wingate and Finchley versus have Burgess Hill travel to them. Let's have a look at.
I saw Gary and Jay Levette last night from Burgess Hill.
Yeah.
Had a nice chat with them. Again, 2 brilliant guys that I respect incredibly.
Yeah.
Mainly through the fact that they're not scared to put young players in. If they're good enough, they're old enough. I'm a firm believer in that. And Gary and Jay are known for it. They were talking, just before we get into it, they're talking about the changes at the club, how they're building sustainably over the next few years. You can see every time you go there's another little bit of work done. There's another bit there. I'll tell you what, that is a club, 100%. That is a club on the up in the next couple of years. Really will go higher places. They're already, shooting high as it is now. But getting back to those levels where everyone used to know Burgess Hill back in the day. you know what I mean? So it was lovely to speak to them and lovely to see them as they, again, great supporters of what we do and always have been. Day one, as I call them.
Absolutely, yeah. I was going to touch on Burgess Hill and Lewis and sort of the inconsistency that they're both teams are sort of experiencing at the moment. Burgess Hill won 2, lost 4 out of the last 6, and then Lewis, to be fair, have won 4 out of the last 5, lost 1 and drawn 1. What do they need to do to get that consistency? Is it just a case of they're a bit unlucky, or Chris? I think tell me more than Mike on this one.
Well, I think with Lewis, I think goals have been a bit of a problem. Since the end of September, they've scored 20 and 15, which is not a great rate for teams. I think that league in general, a lot of the teams have been quite inconsistent. Lewis are on, what is it? In their last 15 games, they've got 20 points, but they're mid-table. There's so many teams, it's sort of, other than, say, Folkestone and Aveley, who've just been going great guns, particularly Folkestone until fairly recently, the league's been, there's so many teams that are marooned on a very similar number of points.
Yeah.
But Aveley are 15 unbeaten.
Really? 15 unbeaten now?
Yeah, they're going somewhat fierce now. But even, say, Lewis have only picked up 5 points fewer than Cray Wanderers, and they've got 2 games in hand. There's just a lot of teams displaying very similar sort of performance levels at the moment. But yeah, Lewis do stand out in terms of goals, unfortunately, but not in a good way.
Yeah, I haven't been to either of those teams this season, so that'll be something to go and pick out. Maybe we try and.
Well, actually, I was at a Lewis game earlier in the season, and we're talking very early. It was early September. They played Chichester, and Lewis got absolutely burgled. That first half, they were all over Chichester. They could have been 4 up, but they didn't score.
Yeah.
Chichester even lost a man in the second half, and then Lewis got suckered on the counter. And it was just like a prime lesson in you don't finish your chances. This is what happens.
Is that before Pitts come in? Was that before the management change?
Yeah. It was when England played Serbia. I think we're talking like around the 11th September, something like that.
Yeah, because I know I pulled them out for inconsistency, but they have improved dramatically since.
Yeah,
to be fair. So.
Oh, they have, yeah. And to be fair, they've tightened up at the back. I mean, because I think they came in, it was like October time, wasn't it? So if I look at Lewis now, their last 7 games, letting 8 goals. That's not bad. They're letting 6 in, was it Nelson's last match in charge? No, Nelson's the manager now, isn't he?
Yeah.
But, I'm not very good with nicknames. But his predecessor, he let in 6 in 1 game. His last game in charge was a 6-0 gubbin. So
yeah,
they've tightened up.
Yeah. No. Look, I like both those teams. I haven't been to Burgess Hill. Burgess Hill actually is one of the grounds that I've never been to.
Have you not?
No.
It's really, really nice, mate. Lovely bar, everything.
The clubhouse is fairly new.
I advise you to get down there, get see some nice football as well, mate.
Yeah, actually, that Barry Carpenter, I'm assuming, is the guy that I met down Eastbourne Borough that I was chatting to in between doing my work earlier. He does the Down the Lane podcast for Eastbourne Borough.
All right.
So, it was good to chat to you earlier, Barry. Some good opinions that maybe you can come on and have a chat about in the coming weeks. Share your opinions on here. Look, let's move on. Isthmian South Central. No, we'll go Isthmian South East because it's next up on Chris's pack.
Gareth, do you want me to just read it because I've got it in front of me?
Yes, please, mate. That would be great if you could.
Sound right. So Saturday's results: Broadbridge Heath lost 2-0 at home to Deal Town. Crowborough Athletic lost 2-1 at home to Jersey Bulls. Margate won away at Hassocks. Eastbourne Town got a decent point on the road away at Sheppey United, and Hastings United got an impressive 3-0 win away at VCD. We've already covered the County Cup game. The matches that were postponed: Beckenham versus Three Bridges was postponed, as was East Grinstead Town versus Erith Town. So in terms of fixtures coming up on Saturday, Hastings go to Croydon Athletic, Hassocks head to Whiteleaf. It's East Grinstead versus Broadbridge Heath. Although actually, given the current water situation in East Grinstead, I would keep an eye out on that one. I work in East Grinstead and haven't been able to go to the office all week. So if they've got no running water, that might be an issue. Eastbourne Town host Deal Town. Crowborough go to Herne Bay. And Three Bridges host VCD. Then on Tuesday, it's Hastings versus Crowborough at the Pilot Field.
Oh, nice. That'd be a good game.
Yeah. Hastings picking up 4 wins in their last 6. Are they starting to build a bit of momentum now?
I think they have since David Altendorf took over, to be fair. They've been, great guns. I think when he took over, they would, if they weren't, well, they won't have been bottom. They would have been second bottom. But since he's taken over, they've been brilliant. Winning away at VCD, I'd like to think is something that he would have had his eyes on. VCD not one of the best teams in the league, but it's an important win nonetheless, and it puts them 11 points clear of the relegation zone now. Yeah. So I think, and they've got a really good goal difference relative to the rest of the teams in that bottom half as well. Yeah. So no, they've been doing really well, and a really good point as well for Eastbourne Town. 4 unbeaten now. Sheppey are decent at home. I think they've got the 7th best record at home. So for Town to go there and get a point with the squad as in the state it's in, we've got quite a lot of players out with injuries at the minute. That's a massive result for Town.
Is there something to be said? Obviously, Three Bridges, top of the league, 8 points clear, going great guns. The rest of our teams sit from 14th to 18th in the league. Right, do you think there's anything in that, or do you think it's just
right? Well, let's look at Three Bridges. Yeah, so I was there last time.
Yeah,
fantastic footballing young squad. Super drilled, literally matched Horsham every step of the way. Really did. Crowd are buzzing. They're behind them, which helps. We know that helps. Jamie's doing bits down there, Krellin. He's got them working non-stop. I can't see them being moved from that top spot. A long way. There's a long way to go. Long way to go. Yeah. But if anyone asks me to bet against Three Bridges, especially they'll beat VCD at the weekend. They'll go down. They'll beat them. And then there's a lot of teams that got to play a lot of each other in there as well. Croydon back in there.
I think the interesting.
Go on.
I was going to say the interesting. I mean, I said Three Bridges might cause a shock against Horsham because the way they've been this season's just been, they're fantastic. They score goals at an alarming rate. Croydon losing at Ashford last week, I thought might happen. So they're now 8 points because they were 8 points clear with the game in hand. Now they're just 8 points clear, and goal difference basically means it's 9.
Yeah.
So the way they're going, they've just been relentless this season.
Yeah, look, I ain't going to stick any money on the table and say that someone else will beat them. I mean, I'm concerned for the other teams. I am concerned. I feel for Simo down at Broadbridge Heath. Although he has signed a couple of really decent players this week. He really has. Yeah, really good players. He's not getting the rub of the green down there at the moment. He's had games called off. He's getting decisions against him. I've seen a few of the decisions, and he's one of the nicest men in football around there. And that would even piss him off, I reckon. They need a bit of luck. Crowborough and Hassocks. Look, at the end of the day, Crowborough and Hassocks, their aim was to compete in this league, surely, wasn't it? And stay up.
Yeah, 100%. I think
it has to be two extremely well-run clubs.
Yeah,
and that love Muggsy, love the Westlake boys in there.
I think Crowborough. I'm less concerned about their prospect going forward on the basis that they do just have this habit of just picking up points. They don't go on long losing runs.
No,
I think they've been on one. but generally speaking, they've just been picking up points. They're 8 points clear now of VCD, and with a game in hand. Yeah. So you'd think, and that's VCD and Erith and Beckenham. I can't. I think Crowborough will be all right. Hassocks are the one, and I would dearly love them to stay up. They're the one I would be most not threatened by, but sort of worried for. But I can't see Hastings getting dragged into it.
No.
So
I put my money on the table and say that Hassocks and Crowborough and Hastings all stay up. And I think if Hassocks and Crowborough look at that in the general picture, that is a target achieved. I'd say. I don't know if I'm relegating anyone this week either.
No, I won't ask you because I think I know your answer. You just won't say.
No, they're not relegated
yet. Look, Broadbridge Chief have brought in 2 new players today as well. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned, mate. 2 really good players.
They've brought in Ollie Rawlins from Kingstonian, and they've brought in Charlie Pitcher from Hassocks.
So Ollie Rawlins from Kingstonian, yes, but earlier this season was at East Grinstead, and more notably, last season was at Dorking B in Division 1, and he scored over a goal a game.
Yeah.
That was step 6. This is step 4. So
he's good enough. He's good enough, stat man, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, time will tell, and good luck to him. And Charlie Pitcher from Hassocks. I mean, yeah, that's not a bad move.
No, look, I think while we're on Hassocks quickly, I think Hassocks will be happy to finish 18th. If I'm being honest, after last season, it's progression, and they, in my opinion, they'll stay up because there's 4 teams worse than them in the league, and I think if I'm being honest with you, I would like to say that the bottom 4, I think, will be the bottom 4 come the end of the season. I've already relegated one of them openly. The other 3, I think, will probably be it. But we'll see. Let's move on to the South Central. I've got it in front of me, Chris, so you're all right. On Saturday, Bognor Regis won 1-0 at home to South Park. Littlehampton and Southall shared a 1-1 draw. This weekend, both teams are away. Bognor head to Hayes and Yedding, while Littlehampton head to Westfield, which will be a tough game. Both of them are tough games against teams that are in 5th and 2nd in the league in that one. I won't dwell too much on that. We'll probably just move on because there's not really anything. There's 3 goals in the whole of that. Nothing really stands out. We'll probably chat more about them next week if Bognor and Littlehampton both win at Hayes and Yedding and Westfield.
I don't think they will, but yes. No. Sorry, boys. But yeah, particularly Westfield. The top 4 in that league are it's a bit like the Prem. They're just cut off. Like they're just such high quality.
Yeah. Right. Southern Combination Premier. Guernsey hosted Eastbourne United and won 3-0. Horsham YM and Haywards Heath shared a 2-2 draw. Pagham and Croydon Gatwick also shared a 2-2 draw. Bexhill United went to Wick and won 3-2, while Roffey hosted Lingfield and Lingfield won 2-0. Little Common versus Lancing was postponed, and Midhurst and Eastbourne versus Peacehaven was also postponed. This weekend, Guernsey hosts Lingfield, Eastbourne United hosts Bexhill United, Horsham YM hosts Forest Row, Pagham head to Lancing, Peacehaven host AFC Vardinians, Seaford hosts Little Common, New Haven head to Shoreham, Stelling Town host Roffey, and Wick host Midhurst and Eastbourne. I will come on to it in a minute, but in the FA Vars, Crawley Down Gatwick head to Cockfosters, while Haywards Heath head to Great Yarmouth. On Tuesday night, Crawley Down Gatwick host Horsham YM, Midhurst and Eastbourne host Eastbourne United. In the Peter Bentley Cup, Jarvis Brook hosts Stenning. Little Common have Worthing United as their visitors, and Godalming host New Haven. Right, Guernsey up to 3rd in the league, lost 1 in their last 6.
Flying, aren't they? Flying across the old channel.
Yeah. That man,
side, mate. They are a good side.
Yeah.
Certainly good value. I mean, in their 21 games so far, there's been 109 goals. Like they,
really?
Yeah. They, because like I say, they haven't drawn yet this season.
No.
When they lose, they have been on the end of a couple of absolute shoes, which you just wouldn't expect. And as I said last week, we said last week about their away record. They've got the third best away record or away return.
I couldn't believe that stat, man, when I saw that, because I would have bet against that. You know,
no, I would have done. I absolutely would have done. And that was kind of why I went to check it myself. I was like, that might be what stops them, but no. They've they're actually surprisingly good on the road. And I suppose it kind of tallies when you think about their overall record, and you think, oh, actually, Pagan went there and won. And you know, we talked about that quite a bit. Didn't YM do the same?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, so
it was a 3-2 YM won that game. Cool.
Yeah.
What a stonking weekend that was.
Yeah, you're still recovering. You've got your passport back.
Funny enough, actually, because I spent on Monday, didn't I, at the old passport office and that, and I got it back today. So he's going to Vegas in 2 weeks. I'm going to Vegas.
You'll find your old passport.
I probably will, mate.
There's nothing more certain. You've put it somewhere safe. But back to Guernsey. They are, they're a force to be reckoned with, and great value to watch. Unfortunately, they're overseas, so going and watching them's hard. But there you go.
Well, it's not hard, mate. Just get on a plane. You get on a plane. You're in the air for about 25 minutes. By the time you're up, you're down.
They've got a couple of interesting games coming up as well. I mean, they've got Lingfield at weekend. Big up on Lingfield, by the way. I'm sure you'll come to. But they've got New Haven away, Stenning at home, Bexhill away, and then in the 3 after that. So I think we'll learn quite a bit about Guernsey's prospects for the season in the next few weeks.
I think you're right. 100% right.
While we're talking about the Southern Combination Prem, let's talk about the FA Vars, which happens this weekend. Mike,
oh yeah,
you're on a Jolly Boys outing, aren't you, to Great Yarmouth?
I am on the bus with those boys from Hayward Heath, those crazy ass fans in there. 8 o'clock meet at Hayward Heath, which for a Worthing lad is not ideal. And then so that means an easy weekend for me at the moment. You know, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there, have a little look, get on that bus, join in with the old fan chants. There'll be loads of content coming from there. Got myself a new little camera, one of those little clip-on ones. I have to be careful though.
Yeah, don't lose it.
If I'm streaming and that's on, you know, I've got to keep it a little bit PC. But yeah, their stadium is the oldest in the country, isn't it? Or something ridiculous. It's like well over. Check it out, Great Yarmouth. It's like an antique. And they are now 5-2 favourites to win the Vars.
That's Heath, isn't it?
Yeah. Not Great Yarmouth. No, I fully expect Hayward Heath to go out there and beat them, mate.
It's hard to look past them, isn't it? Given they've run this so far this season, but I mean Yarmouth are in the playoffs in their league, you know, so they're not. Obviously, they've got to this stage. They're not going to be mugs.
No, and I think the club have made the right decision as well to go there early. You know, not drive up on the day. You know, they've gone and done it properly night before. And that they're taking it seriously, as you would, because there's dollar on the table there.
Yeah.
You know, I sent Kev a message earlier. So he's one of these, you know, he gets into that game mode, doesn't he? And sent him a good luck message. I'm really looking forward to it, mate. I'm really looking forward to hopefully coming back on a bus where not one, but 2 teams from Sussex are actually through to the next round because Dave's Crawley down. Are you going, Gaz?
No, Trev's going to that one. Trev's on the bus.
We haven't mentioned Trev tonight, have we? He's been on the subs bench tonight.
Nah, we've
he's out injured.
Yeah, it's his girlfriend's birthday. Happy birthday, Farah.
Yeah, happy
birthday.
And he's currently at the Miller and Carter, which I'm a little bit jealous about, to be honest with you. So.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm looking forward to it. The whole day. I'm not sure the missus is looking forward to me going, but but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a great day.
on Crawley Down, I mean, I've just looked. Cockfosters are also in the playoff zone in their league as well, so that's a tough one. But credit to Crawley Down with that draw at Pagham, because that's a really big result for them, given they've not had the season they would have wanted, but that has brought an end to a losing run, and that's a tough place to go with Pagham at the moment as well, the way they've been this season.
But you go to the Lions, Den. It's always going to be tough down there.
Indeed, yes.
Those fans are on you right on the pitch. You know what I mean? You know, in a nice way, but it's never. And Lemmy's got them going well down there. But I feel for a bit for Dave over at Crawley. Do you know what I mean? This season,
they've had a tough season, no doubt about it.
Green, have they?
No, but that's a great point, and I think that's in the context of their season. I think that hopefully that'll be a bit of a turning point for them. But
they had this last season. They went deep into the FA Vars last season. They're not new to this.
They were never in relegation trouble though last season.
No.
Whereas this team, they're 2 points off the drop zone. Now, admittedly, there's quite a few teams in that position, but yeah, they're certainly down markedly on last season.
Realistically, you've got Crawley down to Van Dinies. I'm going to relegate Shoreham as well. I think Shoreham are down. I think there's one relegation spot and 5 teams. I think they'll be all right. Although it makes grim reading when you look.
A bit early to relegate Shoreham, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. No. If I can answer in unison, no. But I think, but vis-a-vis the others, I mean, Crawley Down, Gatwick. I do think they'll be fine, but that's more, I think, blind faith based on last season. Last season, like I said, they were basically in the playoff hunt up until right at the end. Yeah. So, yeah, I think Lancing seem to be churning out results. Lingfield, it now feels like a good time to bring up the Lingfield result. What a result that was. I think they might have benefited from the match being moved to Steyning, where they were playing home games theoretically earlier in the season. So, yeah. I think Shoreham have lost. Let me go and get my stats. How many games in a row have Shoreham lost now? 19.
19. They've scored 2 and conceded 18 in the last 6 games. And that's...
Yeah, there's... Again, this is like a bit like the East Grinstead conversation. There's a million ways I can try and paint this stats-wise, but I'll save everybody the bother. I don't like saying this about teams because I do like trying to be positive about teams, particularly given it's non-league. People do this for fun rather than, like Danny was saying earlier, people do this for a bit of fun rather than because they're going to win the World Cup. But, sure, unfortunately, I think, they're just the momentum with them is all down.
Yeah, no, I agree. Right, let's move on to Div 1. At the weekend, AFC Walcountians won 2-1 at home to Dorking Wanderers B. Reigate Priory won 4-0 away at Copthorne, and water is wet. Infinity won 3-2 at home to Loxwood. Ringmer won 4-2 at home to Milo. Saltdean and Jarvis Brook shared a 2-2 draw, and Worthing United won 4-0 at home to Uckfield Town. This weekend, Oakwood host Billingshurst.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. kickoff.
That's the 2 p.m. kickoff, yeah.
Yeah.
You did well, actually.
Arundel potentially host Reigate Priory in a 6th versus 7th. Sorry, I had to get that. A 6th versus 7th game.
Pack it in.
Copthorne host Loxwood. Dorking Wanderers B host Jarvis Brook. Ringmer travel to East Preston. Godalming host Saltdean United. Myloke are at home to Infinity, and Worthing United travel to Selsey. On Tuesday night, we've already gone through those fixtures. Mate, I can't actually see that.
Sorry, mate. It's just my new moon, man.
Oh, your new style apparel T-shirt.
I've seen all your stuff as well, mate. We'll have to talk about that in a sec.
Yeah. Sorry, okay. Let's have a quick chat here. Infinity getting that much needed win, I think, on last Saturday. Just after 3 losses in a row, to get that win.
Although again, I mean, if that match had happened, say 2-3 months ago, I think they'd pummel Loxwood. I think it shows you a lot about how far Loxwood have come in that time. Actually.
Yeah, I agree there, Stat Man. I think Ian's doing a great job now coming through with the squad he wants there. Just needs a bit of luck.
Yeah, but I agree, Gaz. It is important for Infinity. They've got a tricky game coming up against Mile Oak, and I think if they can beat, if they can see that through as well, I think that's them well and truly back on the rails.
Yeah, and that top 7, 8, top 8.
Yeah,
any one of those can make the playoffs. Really, I think the league.
Yeah, I think. League. The thing about the league as well is, I was looking at this slightly earlier today. You look at the games between those teams in the top 8, and I do think it is the top 8. I mean, the points per game wise, Selzy are on 1.79. That's more than Reigate Priories, more than Walcountians who are above them. They're just where they are because they've had quite a few games postponed. That's the word. I was looking at the games between those two, those sort of 6, 7, 8 tides, and Godalming's record is they're unbeaten. I think they've only lost 1 game all season.
Lost 1 game.
Mile Oak, I believe, off the dome.
He's a different breed than the old Mo. Brilliant.
Brilliant. They've lost. Was it 4 games he's lost in a season and more than a season and a half now?
Yeah, look, he's a winner. He's a winner.
And he doesn't lose. I think that's even more important because they do draw a few Godalming, but they don't.
He just makes them hard to beat, mate. His teams work hard. They're disciplined. They're drilled, and they put out the plan exactly how Mo lays it out.
They've conceded 17 goals in 20 games, so less than a goal a game, which at this level does not happen often.
Ruthless, mate.
So I think that'll see him home.
I hope so. I hope so for the fact that the work that Mo and his team and the people behind the scenes are putting to that, because got to bear in mind they're right on the outskirts of the county as well. In there. I
thought it was Surrey personally, but I'm
that's what I mean. Right on the outskirts, a bit like a Dorking and Reigate. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, look. For me, that is so tight there. I mean, I know we had Dan on, but they got 8. They're on 8. They've only played 18 games. They got 2, maybe 3 games in hand on every team above them, and yet they're sat level on points.
But they haven't got the points from the board, Gaz.
No. I get that. You'd rather have the points than the games, but they've only dropped 5 points in their last 6 games.
Oh, look, they're gonna give it a go.
Yeah,
they're gonna give it a real push. I'd be shocked if Arundel weren't in the playoffs. Shocked. Yeah. In fact, I'd be asking questions. I would. But at the same time, what's the weather like this weekend? It's supposed to be shitty, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For a change.
If are they at home, Arundel, this week?
Yeah, they're at home to Reigate.
Theoretically. I think
if that's off, these games start stacking up come March, April, and that is where other teams might have a little bit more energy in their legs. This is what we spoke about to Dan. The club want to kick on. Got to sort that fucking pitch out, mate.
Yeah.
What we'll say as well, Arundel actually have the second best points per game ratio in those top 8 games.
Top 8 teams.
Against the top 8, which admittedly is like half the league. Thinking about it, but which shows you how close it is. But they've won 4 they've only played 7 of them as well, so they've got quite a lot of games left against the teams they're going to be directly up against.
Yeah,
Statman, who's in form?
Who's in form?
Yeah,
Selzy, Godalming, Walcountians.
Yeah, they're the 3.
United.
And Arundel, to be fair, Arundel are basically the same record as Walcountians. Worthing United, less so.
Sorry, I've got it in front of me. Sorry, I know you probably have as well.
They've
They're
won
sat
three
on
of the last
mid-table,
four.
aren't they?
Yeah, but they've won 3 of the last 4, so they're starting to turn around what was a bit of a ropey run.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, step 7. I'm gonna plough through these nice and quickly. In the Southern Combination Div 2, results at the weekend were Tri-City B won 7-0 at home to Worthing Town. Storrington beat Rudgwick 1-0. AFC Brighton Rangers won 2-0 at home to Bosham. Rustington went to Brighton Electricity and won 5-0. Ferring won 4-1 at home to Capel, and Upper Beeding won 1-0 at home to Alfold. Shout out. So they won 1-0 at home to Alfold. In the Sussex Intermediate Challenge Cup, Howsham Town won 2-0 at home to Jesters Town, and Southwater lost 5-1 at home to Westfield. Fixtures this weekend, all 2 o'clock kickoffs. Alfold hosts ASC Brighton Rangers. Brighton Electricity host Bosham. TD Shipley travel to Capel. Howsham travel to Southwater. Rudgwick travel to Upper Beeding. Worthing Town host Rustington. And Storrington are at home to Ferring, which is a 3 o'clock kickoff. In the Mid-Sussex Football League, Crowhurst host Shoreham beat Shoreham 2-4-1. Lindfield won 2-1 at home to Rotherfield, and Reigate Priory seconds, and Punnets Townshend a 4-4 draw. Postponed games in that one: Holland Sports at Balcombe. Cookfield Rangers was postponed against Hollington United in the Sussex Intermediate Cup. Fairley Rovers versus French's Athletic was also postponed in the Sussex Saturday Premier Cup. This Saturday, all 2 o'clock kickoffs, and Ness said. Cookfield Rangers host Balcombe. Hollington United host Rotherfield. Holland Sports travel to Punnets Town. Westfield host Reigate Priory seconds. Lindfield host Crowhurst. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. In the Mid-Sussex Senior Charity Cup, Copthorne 2 versus host play Polegate. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff. In the Sussex Surrey FA Saturday Intermediate Cup, French's Athletic host Farley Rovers. And on Tuesday, Crowhurst host Polegate Town. In the West Sussex Football League on Saturday, Dale United won 3-0 at home to Watersfield. Harting went down 5-3 to Billingshurst Reserves. Petworth and TD Shipley Reserves shared a 2-2 draw. Wittering United won 4-3 at home to Holbrook. And Horsham Crusaders versus AFC Fishbourne was postponed. This Saturday, all 2 o'clock kickoffs. Dale United host Billingshurst Reserves. Harting host Horsham Crusaders. Watersfield travel to Petworth. TD Shipley Reserves host Holbrook Olympic. And Wittering United host AFC Fishbourne.
Can I mention a couple of things on there?
Of course you can.
It was excellent getting all that all done, by the way, in one breath.
Yeah, one breath that.
Couple of things. Firstly, the ship still unbeaten. TD Shipley on a great run at the moment. 13 out of 13. Only conceded 10 goals. Statman, you'd love that.
Yes.
Watch Rustington quietly go about their business as well now. Obviously, they would have been big favourites to win the league again in there. Indifferent start. Those boys are finding form now. And I'll tell you what, they got some players in there. I'll tell you what I'm concerned about. And I say it week in, week out. Well, for the last few weeks. Worthing Town. I'm concerned because I live in Worthing. Yeah? It's the closest ground to me in there. Mate, they're getting pumped.
How do you feel about the fact they've got Rustington at the weekend?
Well, Rustington are going to fucking roll them over, mate. And that's... Look, they got pumped 7-0 the weekend. Drew 3-0 with AFC Brighton the week before. Double pumped 11-0 by Hailsham at home. And pumped before that 8-1 at home. I mean, they've got wonderful facilities down there.
Yeah.
What's the ambition? What is the ambition of that club? You get all the money from the lottery. You go and build a nice little place on the middle of a beautiful park in there. Wonderful bar.
I hate to point it out as well. They actually lost the other game against Hailsham 9-0, so they've actually conceded 20 in 2 games against Hailsham.
I'll get in that squad, mate. Do you know what? I might even prove it. I might go and make myself available for selection because it look like anyone can get in that squad at the moment. I'm just concerned. I don't even know what happens if they go down. Can they go down? I don't know. How does that happen? Gaz? Is he all right? Are you there, Gaz?
He picked his phone up and all of a sudden his internet's failing.
Yeah, that's what he's got. He's on dial-up, isn't he? Anyway, right. At least I've said I'm Worthington.
Is my sound playing up?
Yeah. Look, what happens, Gaz? Can they go down?
Hold on.
That's all right, mate. We'll wait for you. And the other 500 watching. Anyhow, that man, don't worry about him. We carry this on. Yeah, I'm concerned, mate, for them. I really am, and I don't mind getting abuse from some of them online and that because I just tell them straight, you can't defend that at the moment. It is what it is. Russ, you probably get in the squad, mate, at the moment. I tell you. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyway. Gaz, are you back yet, mate? Right, we'll just continue without him. Anyway.
Okay.
Right. That man, where are you off to this weekend?
Well, surprise you not to learn, I'm going to be at. Russ says that Worthington can't get relegated. So thank you, Russ.
Oh, they can't?
No.
Right, so if they can't get relegated, what's the point in being in the league? I mean, what is it? I mean, what if they can't get relegated, I mean, this is what I don't get. I don't get this. So what? Look, they're going to get pumped every week or something. They're not even bottom, by the way.
No, they're not. But it's only a point in it, so it wouldn't take. And their goal difference would absolutely see them bottom, unfortunately.
And do you know what surprises me? And this is the reason why I say it, Statman, is this. I come across their 23s last year, and there's some good players in there. Do you know what I mean? Players that you'd expect to more than handle in a county too.
Mm.
I just don't know what's gone wrong with the club. One win, and they've shipped 71 goals, mate. I'll tell you, here's a problem. It's your defence and your goalkeeper then.
No. 71's their goal difference. Negative 71. They've conceded 92.
Oh shit! It's even worse. I looked at the wrong thing.
So, yeah, it's not. They're not having the best of seasons. I think it's polite to say. So
it is what it is. Anyway, let's not berate them anymore. I only do it. I only say it because I care. In there. It is what it is. Stam, Booga, are you back?
We can see you.
He's on there twice now, look.
I don't know what's going on. There's something going on.
Yeah, you're having a bath.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now. It sounds good.
Yeah, I've had to go on my phone. My laptop's gone a little bit skew with. I don't know what's happened there.
Your VPN's probably gone from all those dodgy sites you've been on, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Before I was rudely interrupted, I was going to try and mention the step 7 allocations.
Yeah, please do, because I can't believe that they just can't go down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can't, but at the moment, there's a Hailsham, Chichester City B, and Rustington have all applied for promotion this season, and they're currently sat 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the SCFL Div 2.
Mm.
Now, Rustington, who year after year after year, can you hear me still?
Div 2. Yeah. Now, one of them.
Rustington, who
can hear you twice.
I don't know what's going on. I'm having an absolute mare tonight. It's going to make an interesting podcast, isn't it?
So you were saying Hailsham, Chai and Rustington have all gone for promotion?
Yeah, I think Sayers is right. Rustington have got the players. It's just they just had a dodgy start at the beginning of the year. And bearing in mind, Washington on their day should turn over most of those teams.
Yeah.
Every time, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think all three of those could go up, but ultimately it's only going to be one of them, I'd have thought. So
I don't think TD can go up, can they? I think I mentioned I saw on on one of the podcasts was on that they mentioned that they're getting the lights in and that's happening. But Russellton, you know, and Howsham, don't forget Howsham used to be a really good side, you know, back in the day.
I remember going to watch Howsham like in Div 1 years and years ago with Wick.
Yeah. I remember playing against them and our keeper got lobbed from 40 yards. Why'd you keep popping up twice? Okay. But yeah. Anyway, what's next?
Next, I was going to go team of the week. And team of the week this week we've given to Lingfield. Congratulations.
Rich's Lingfield.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah, we gave team of the week to Lingfield. There was only a few that sort of stood out. We had to base it almost pretty much on one result. We just felt that was sort of more of a standout result than the others.
Have you watched the documentary yet that they've done, the series?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't. I was away at the weekend, very busy.
Why? Why?
Why haven't I watched it?
Yeah, I told you, mate. Really
I
good.
just I was sunning myself in old Benidorm this weekend.
You do look a little bit red. I didn't want to say anything, mate.
No, that's the mozzie bites. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, little fucking bastards.
I didn't want to say anything because do you know what I mean? But unlucky, mate. Unlucky. Anyhow.
Anyone got any shout outs?
Yeah, hang on. Let's just a bit Lingfield first.
Yeah, go on then.
Again, anyone that hasn't seen their documentary Project Lingfield, go on YouTube and have a little look at that. Search that up because that is a warts and all series that they're doing. Yeah, it is. You're right, Aaron. It's very well put together. It really is. And it don't just say the good things about Liverpool because they've had a tough season. You know, it says the back and Rich chairman. We'll be speaking to him very soon as well. He's a no bullshit man as well. He puts his dollar on the table, and he's an open book, mate. We can ask him and say it is. So yeah, definitely worth looking at. And I'm glad because they're a club at the moment that's struggling with where they're going to be going. You know, I don't think they're going back home till potentially next season. Is it, Statman?
I think that's what Trev said last week. Yeah, it's not going to be this season now.
But it's always hard. I think they're playing at Whiteleaf, don't they? So yeah, and to kick it through, you know, so deserved recognition, I say.
That's their second away win of the season. The other one coming at Shoreham. So yeah, massive result that.
Yeah. Anyone got any shout outs?
I've got a shout out.
Don't use the one that I put in the group earlier because that one's mine. Go on then.
What was your one?
I put it in the group earlier for the agenda.
Well, it's not likely to be that then.
No, okay. There you go.
Can I shout these out?
Yeah, you can do your shout outs, mate.
Well, finally, the Moon Man has landed. Okay, so the Moon Men, New Style Apparel, our sponsors are finally doing their first drop now. Perfection takes a long time. So look forward. They've got a website coming out with the first drop. Shout out to Noah Suter there and Glenn in there. Really looking forward to it. I've got some stuff come through. There's some cool hats as well. Everything. So yeah, Moon Men is in the building. And I'll tell you what, I used to be in the sports fashion game, right? And these are quality. These are none of that cheap shit you get off your little printer file. These are proper. Look, you can tell that. So they've got their own little things down there and that, you know. So the Moon Men, all designed coming. New style apparel. Bang. They are launching their first drop next week, and we'll be there to cover it. Oh, and yeah.
Excellent.
And
Chris? Oh, hold on. He's still going.
I had another shout out as well. Oh, I want to shout out Keith as well. Keith, the groundsman at Three Bridges last night. Lovely bloke to chat to. You know what I mean? Really, and you know, he's a supporter. He watches the shows and that. You know, really lovely guy. You know, so yeah, shout out to Keith, the groundsman at Three Bridges. And apologies if I'd had a few.
If
I was going to say that's the worst use of the word "if" known to man, I think.
Yeah.
I'll go mine, and then Chris, you can do yours. Mine's Josh Neathy. 100 appearances for Roffey at the weekend.
Excellent.
Josh. Chris?
I mean, I don't really have one. It's been a quiet week. But I was going to say about on Saturday, anybody listening in the Eastbourne area, Borough are away from home. Brighton do not have a game. Why not come down the Saffrons? I'm going to plough this on my own. It's the Manchester derby, which Eastbourne Town are.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because what a better way as a gateway into the ground. You watch the game there. You then go to the Saffrons. It's like a 10-yard walk. Go and watch the double header. That's what I'll be doing on Saturday.
Oh, well, to be fair, I'm glad I'm going to be away then. Because we're at City, aren't we? It's at the end.
We're at home.
Was it at Old Trafford?
I mean, I was at the Etihad for the derby earlier in the season. I can confirm, yes, it's at Old Trafford.
There's a chance we might get a point.
Yeah. I know where you're going, Mike, but I'm going to Peacehaven this weekend.
Oh,
they're on a run, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm on a one-man mission to present all the Team of the Month trophies, so I'm going down armed with a trophy because it's their only home game this month or for the next 3 or 4 weeks, I think. So I know you said you're going to do it, but it's their only home game, so I'm going to make the trip over. Yeah, and then get Treb off my back about going to East Sussex as well.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, I would have done it. I would have done it, but you know, I've got a few things on this month. You know?
Yeah. I tell you what, actually, but Vandanians are an interesting story as well, given what they've been, how they've been performing of late. It's been a far cry from what they were doing earlier in the season. They've really stepped up.
Yeah, no, it'll be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been yet, so burger review next week.
It's a nice place to watch football, to be fair.
Oh yeah, no, I was there. I was literally there this afternoon at the cafe next door. But yeah, I'll get into the ground and for work.
And I had a shout out the B and Dons one, didn't they, as well? By the way, they got through
in the Sunday FA Sunday League Sunday Cup.
They got through another cup as well. Shout out the Dons. They're a hell of a side. They are, by the way, hell of a side in there. But yeah. So what are we saying? Let's do this FA Vars prediction then. Crawley versus, is it Cockfosters?
Cockfosters, yeah. Right at the top of the Northern line, isn't
it? Yeah, they're in their league is called the Midland League.
Go on.
I think they're in with Biggleswade Town, so yeah, they're really North London.
Yeah. I think they're I'm pretty sure it's the last stop on the Northern line. Go past Wembley and get on the Northern train to Cockfosters.
And the naughty North. So go on then, what are we saying?
2-1 Crawley down.
All three of us. Go on.
I hate to say this, but I'm going to go 3-1 Cockfosters.
2-1 Crawley down.
1-0 down on Pens.
Hayward Heath.
3-1 Heath.
2-1 Heath.
2-1 Great Yarmouth.
Oh, bold.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I just think it's
looking at some of the old fan forums. The old Yarmouth boys fancy it, by the way.
If you're going into that game and mentality that you're the favourites for the whole tournament, there's a bit of that. Huh?
Well, hang on.
Those players won't be thinking that at all.
No. I'm not saying they will, but it will add. I'm not saying they will, but it will add a little bit of pressure, in my opinion. I just think it. I think for Great Yarmouth, they'll have the home fans with them. It's not going to be a small crowd. I wouldn't have thought. I just think they might. Look, obviously, I want Hayward Heath to win, but I'm just gonna. You two have both said you want that Hayward Heath are going to win. I thought, fuck it, and I'll go with Great Yarmouth.
I see your logic there. You know.
Yeah, you two idiots have said Hayward Heath are going to win, so I'm going to go against it. That's good logic.
But I definitely don't think there'll be complacency in the blue camp. Not at all.
No, I'm not saying there'll be complacency. It's just it's a big responsibility to shoulder, isn't it? In that respect,
I don't know anything about Great Yarmouth. Even all I know is it used to have a really lackluster pier and seaside that my mum used to ship me up Norwich way.
Yeah.
You know, for like summer holidays for 6 weeks, and then come and pick me up after that, and they wonder why I grew up like I am. Do you know what I mean? Although I did go to soccer school there. I went to soccer school, Steve Bruce Soccer School up there. They're kind of blashes from the past, aren't they?
Yeah.
But good luck to both teams. I'd love to see both teams go through. Could you imagine? Then they meet each other in the next round. And then you're looking at like maybe one away from Wembley.
Mental, isn't it?
Mental. But yeah, anything else?
No, I was just going to round up. That's it from us. Huh?
Who's he speaking to?
You. You said anything else? And I was like, no, that's it.
Just sounds coming through.
It's fucking nightmare.
And Trev's got his new website coming out soon.
Yes. 6 days, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, he's moving away from Substack. And that. Obviously, we might let him back on the show next week. In there, you know,
it might flow a little bit better if we've got him.
I think you've done a good enough job, mate. To be fair. But so that's it from me. Go and check out New Style Apparel's new website. We'll stick some links in. Let's get the boys off to a flyer. They've been a big supporter for us. Otherwise, if it weren't for them, that company there that took a punt on us, we wouldn't be doing this show. Because as I've said a long time, it costs a shitload of money to do this.
Yeah.
For zero.
Yeah. Look, shout out our socials. You can find us on X at the SNLF, on Facebook at the snlf.co.uk, Instagram and TikTok is the snlf.co.uk. You'll find us on YouTube, the SNLF podcast. Chris, where can everyone find you?
At the bar in the Saffrons or on X at _Chris Pryor.
Mikey boy, where can they find you?
Wherever they want, mate. I'm not really bothered.
In the Castle Inn.
No, I'm about. So,
and you'll find Mike on the SNLF DOD. That's it from us this week. Thank you very much. Shout out Dan Harvey coming on talking to us about Arundel, but more importantly, the 100 miles that he's running across January. If you can donate, do donate. We'll share out all the links and stuff tomorrow or Thursday when this podcast goes live. So go and check out our links. Anyone else got anything to add?
No, I got to bed, mate.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Oh.